And there we go. There is Bioshock Remastered completed. Woo! We did it. So I guess review of this game. So I think the things that I like about Bioshock held up, like the audio diaries, the build variety in terms of what you can do with your weapons. It's actually a lot quicker to play through the game than I thought it would be. Like, you can rush through this as much as you wanted to. Yeah, that is, you know, pretty good game, all things considered. Nothing like watching a group of children murdering a glowing man, and does that ending work when you consider Bioshock 2? It does, because it says about the sisters that you took up with you in the bathysphere. That doesn't actually mean all of them. I think it's referring to only the little sisters that help you in that last fight against Fontaine. So there isn't an inconsistency there between Bioshock 1 and Bioshock 2. In fact, the fact that the big sister exists just in a different part of the city kind of speaks to just how big Rapture actually is. Like, Sophia Lamb's down there, Sinclair's down there. Sinclair gets a passing reference in this game, in one of the audio dialogues, and then he obviously becomes a bigger part in Bioshock 2. So I think this does a good job of, like, immersing you into the environment and saying, this place is a lot bigger than you actually think it is. Like I said, you can rush through this. You're basically doing that when you're trying to chase after Ryan and then eventually after Atlas. There is a bit of a thing where the existence of Tenenbaum being in Rapture but not interacting with Sinclair or Sophia Lamb in Bioshock 2 is a little bit, like, of a stretch, but it's still, like I said, it's not inconsistent, I don't think. Are you jumping into Bioshock 2 now, or is this just a shorter stream? Well, I'm actually going to watch through all the director's commentaries, and that I think will, like, be a good way to wrap up the whole thing, because I'm curious to see what the director's commentaries are like. Like, it's going to be some interesting interviews. But yeah, I won't be starting Bioshock 2 today. So yeah, like I said, the things that I like about this game hold up. It's weird playing this at 60 frames per second. It's strange, but it feels like playing through at 30 frames per second feels... It's an old cliche. It feels more cinematic, but also it's like going through the game quickly at 60 FPS feels worse than going through it slowly at 30 FPS. Like, obviously, 60 frames per second is what any game should aim for, because it's like, you know, feels best and it plays best as well. But yeah, there's something about this. It might just be like my old teenage brain not understanding how quickly I could have played through this. And this is like, oh, you can actually just go straight from A to B to C. The problems I had with this were based off of the port to the PlayStation 4 itself. Like, there were a few instances of the audio diaries glitching out a few times, and I've made point of mentioning that. And then, of course, when I restarted this a couple of weeks ago, we had that full-on game freeze. Not even a crash to blue screen and PlayStation 4, just like absolutely could not do anything. So yeah. Gonna focus on work. Hope you enjoy the director's commentary. Hey, thanks for joining in, Ollie. It's been nice having you. Hopefully, yeah, this will be the first time you've seen the ending of Bioshock as well, so I'm glad we managed to wrap it up there. What's else good about this? Obviously, there's the music, which is all appropriate for the period. I mentioned the audio diaries, and the voice acting there is fantastic as always. One thing that I didn't quite realize as much playing through this the first time, but I noticed it more in playing Bioshock Infinite and obviously playing Bioshock Remastered now. The art style is a bit ugly. Like, it's not great. The little sisters all look very bug-eyed. You notice it a lot more when you see the character models, like Atlas as a splicer. Well, he looks more like a nitro splicer in some ways. Langford is just like a generic female model. Tenenbaum as well. Andrew Lyon looks okay. But the other ones look kind of like... It's almost cartoony. And I'm sure they did that for a reason. because they probably felt it fits better in like the whole, you know, universe of it. Yeah, it's not like the most appealing art style I've ever seen, but again, the environments look great. There's a lot of variety in them as well. So yeah, can't fault that for that. So yeah, I think overall it does hold up as a game. It is very much made with the old like game design sensibilities from 10, 15 years ago, but you know, it is a product of its time as well. So yeah, overall, good game. Good game.